When I was a teenager, America's dream fueled me in my imagination. To me, the dream was that in America you can be anything that you want to. A baseball player that goes to work each day at Wrigley Field, a place that my grandfather grew up walking to, or a scientist working out a hopeful hypothesis, or an artist activating and inspiring. Or you could be an entrepreneur and build anything that you wanted from the ground up. That dream was so exciting to me. I'm talking about the dream to start your own business, or as I prefer to call it, company, fueled by passion, vision, love, fellowship, and grit. I've been known to go my own way. I quit art school to start an ice cream company where I reimagined and reinvented ice cream and built a world around flavor. So I'm going to take this opportunity to deliver a letter to the next generation of entrepreneurs. I'll tell a little bit of my story and the lessons that I hope every aspiring entrepreneur will embrace for their own. But first, why am I doing this? Well, American small business is at an inflection point. They were uncared for in COVID, and they account for 2 out of every 3 jobs in our economy. But even beyond that, we cannot begin to turn our attentions away from the fundamental truths that ownership, power, and freedom bring when starting and building your own enterprise. What I like to call start small and build entrepreneurship can help build true economic equity across America. And also, because the intimate dialogue of a letter is a lot like the exchange that we have at our shops at the counter every day when we hand a customer a scoop of beautiful ice creams on a handmade Buttercrisp waffle cone. It's the way that I communicate. So here it goes. Dear kids in America, and anyone else who has the entrepreneurial spirit alive inside of you, I'm Jenny Britton, founder of Jenny's Ice Creams. When I was a young college student at the Ohio State University, I found quickly that my attentions and passions weren't in any one class. They were everywhere. In art class at the library, in the history stacks, in the kitchen at the pastry shop where I worked with a French young chemist who knew a lot about scent, and also with ice cream. So I did the first thing that I want to impress upon you. I followed my curiosity through my senses, my taste, sense of smell, my eye for art, and my passion. My emotions and instinct led the way. I had a vision that I could reimagine ice cream in America, building on the classic flavors with ones that reflected our farms in Ohio and storyful makers, growers, and producers around the world, and in flavors that could spark conversation. While I don't believe that you'll likely want to do the exact same thing as I did, and you shouldn't, I have a feeling that there's something that you'd love to make or a challenge you'd like to solve. Just like I tried making ice cream one day. Try making whatever you love that will make your world better. Entrepreneurship is a lens through which you can view the world. It's about making something new or better and of value to people, whether it's a new skateboard or a scientific hunch. Just try it, explore it, make it, and then imagine the future, create your vision, and take one step forward. The method of entrepreneurship has a lot in common with art. Except in business, the goal is consistency and efficiency. What I don't encourage you to do is to write a pitch deck and find an investor. In fact, I want you to do the opposite. Make more, find customers, and talk to them. Make it better, find more customers, and keep building your world around your idea, one step at a time. Find small loans, but don't give away your ownership before you've had a chance to build it and to make all the mistakes, because the real learning is not in the successes, but in the failures. And trust me, I have failed. Just ask me about not having predictable flavors. In the early days, I would make whatever new ones I wanted to all the time, but customers would come back looking for the ones that they fell in love with on their last visit, which I had already stopped making. I was still thinking like an artist and not enough like an entrepreneur. Or the year we found 1 pint of ice cream with trace amounts of listeria. Or how I decorated our Chagrin Falls shop in Goth for Christmas one year. And the ladies who brought me Christmas trees in protest. And they were right. We've crashed the internet, introduced some horrible flavors, can you say barbecue banana? And made countless errors with every new business process. But that's why we know what we're doing, how to do what we're doing now. When you pitch and launch, you immediately start negotiating away your ownership, and you don't get the benefit of learning from your customers and making any of those critical learning mistakes. Next, know what a fellowship is and what it means in building your company. When I say fellowship, I'm talking about Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings movies. It's when each person on your team, including you, is there for their unique perspective, talent, and skills that you and you together as a team make something greater than the sum of its parts. There is nothing stronger than a fellowship on a mission. And I learned this working in the early days at the farmers market, where fellowship emerged from the other merchants. I learned about ingredients and customers, partnerships and loyalty from the cheesemonger, the winemaker, the baker, the spice merchant, the florist, even the butcher, and so many others. Fellowship today means that you don't run the company with a command and control attitude. You make decisions with your team, not for them, and you tackle all the barriers together, and you celebrate the wins together too. And the quietest among you might just be the one who surprises you the most one day with their powerful and thoughtful strategy. Next, find your way to Main Street. I opened my first solo shop on one of the oldest shopping centers in America, in a place called Grandview, a small urban neighborhood outside of downtown Columbus. Instead of having customers come to me in the market automatically, the market gets over 2 million people who walk through there every year, I had to find a way to get someone to walk through my own doors. And that is the hardest task you will ever do as an entrepreneur. I did it by investing in a new facade. It took nearly all of my budget, but it reinvigorated the whole strip. And just as I made a commitment to the community, they made one back to me. And outside of owning a commercial grade ice cream machine and understanding how to create for customers, this Main Street presence was the most important pivot to growing and scaling my company. Your Main Street might be a website or a booth at a collective boutique. But know that without that step, the dream isn't possible. It's where you learn what your potential is. Lastly, I need you to find time to dream. Between basketball practice, studying for the SATs if you're still in school, midnight feedings and play groups if you're a new parent, a frustrated middle-level employee, find time to get to know yourself, know what you care about. Go get lost at the stacks at your local library. Take long walks in the nearby woods. Explore history or learn a new craft. Go inward. Get curious about yourself, about people, about everything. Let your mind wander. Follow your daydream. Anything that gets you to imagine what's possible, or more importantly, what's seemingly impossible. And learn to believe in yourself and your instinct. Because at one point, many people told me that it was impossible to build an ice cream business in America right now. But I did it. And I inspired countless others in my wake. And we didn't do it overnight, but over decades, one scoop at a time. Our country's diversity is rich and beautiful. It's our strength. And I want to see a future where we have diversity in our ownership and power structure that reflects the nation we are. I believe in starting small and holding on to ownership as long as possible, and building slowly can play a role in helping us rebalance the power structure over time. After listening to my call, if you aren't moved to begin your own company, then support one, or many. Join a company, join a fellowship, and use your talents to build, or shop from companies that you know and care about. Find the independents out there and know that although they might be a solo in a storefront, collectively, they are the fabric that ties our American dreams together. And use your platform to tell these stories far and wide until everyone in America believes that you can start where you're at and build anything that you can imagine. Much love and dreaming, Jenny.